The January 2021 Classic Tetris Monthly recently took place, and it was a spectacle. I feel like I always say, oh, this one was the best month yet, but legitimately, this one really raised the bar. And I'm not even talking about the crazy new player setups or the celebrity guest countdown. No, the games themselves really were better. We're gonna be seeing several world records today. With a qualifying scoreboard like this, though, honestly, it's no surprise, requiring more than 1.1 million to get in. The sole exception being Corion, who had to fight his way through a brutal challenger circuit to earn the final spot. And if you want to see the full original broadcast, they're now on the Monthly Tetris and Monthly Tetris 2 Twitch channels instead of Classic Tetris. And the YouTube uploads will be on the revitalized Classic Tetris Monthly channel. It's been a few months since I've done one of these. It's good to be back. Let's get into the highlights. It really represents how tough the field is now that 11-time CTM winner Corion, after clawing his way in the bracket, had to face nothing less than the current reigning world champion Dog, who had eliminated Corion himself in the 2020 World Championships by beating him in 2 sets, the latter of which featured Corion getting a new world record for the highest losing score ever in competition. But he was off to a good start here with a Game 1 victory and a small lead towards the end of Game 2. However, he's ahead of Dog in lines, and if you adjust the scores based on what both players are on pace to get by the kill screen, it's Dog who actually has the better score. This is a new pace stat I'm experimenting with, more explanation about it in the description. Corion starts off with a Tetris, and both boards are perfectly clean. Dog has to set up a tuck that doesn't get solved, so he's forced to burn a triple and fall further behind pace. Meanwhile, Corion is still 100% clean, and Dog gets a spin to resolve his stack. Corion gets another Tetris, Dog burns a triple. All these burns from Dog are gonna hurt his chances to close the gap, and Corion now has a half Tetris pace lead. Dog gets another Tetris but isn't going to be able to close the pace gap unless Corion burns. Corion sets up a really nice vertical T-tuck and gets a Tetris to get 1.1 million, but he has only 1 line left until the kill screen. He has to burn, but gets the Tetris on level 29. That's going to be the end for him, and Dog only has 1 line to burn before the kill screen as well, and is down more than 2 Tetrises. He can't take any burns, is waiting out and gets the long bar, has a slightly dirty board, but is digging it out, piece by piece, chipping down this stack, and incredibly down stacks all the way down to a clean board, and 1 more Tetris would mean the victory. He's trying to set it up, but the squares come too late. He's not able to maintain a clean left stack and has to settle for a double. As his stack gets out of control, it's not going to be enough, and Corion wins the game. But incredibly, Dog would have managed to completely close the pace gap by the kill screen, and Corion needed that final kill screen Tetris in order to win. He's now in an incredibly strong position of a 2-game lead in a best of 5 set. But the reigning world champion triumphed in the next 3 games in a row to complete a reverse sweep. In Game 4, Corion scored 1.1 million, but Dog scored 1.2 million to set a new world record for highest combined score in competition ever, a mark that was previously held by Sodium, Overdose, and Opox. The scores are getting to the point where I'm starting to not even notice when players reach max outs anymore when I'm recording the voiceovers for the highlights, but the high scores were just getting started. Next, Dog would have to face Sodium Overdose. In Game 1, Dog has a modest 1.5 Tetris lead on level 27. In pace, he still has the lead, but it's much smaller. His board, though, is not in good shape, while Sodium's couldn't be better. Dog starts getting to work cleaning out his board, while Sodium has ample runway to catch up, clearing a Tetris, and Dog crosses over to level 28 as Sodium clears another Tetris to take a tiny lead. Dog is nearly out and is burned all the way down, but is left with only 1 Tetris available before the kill screen, and Sodium is still only on level 27. The scores are razor close, but eventually Sodium gets the long bar for a 1 Tetris lead. Dog only has a single line before the kill screen now and gets his final Tetris, and is going to need some serious kill screen play to have a chance. The scores are less than 1,000 points apart. Sodium, however, is going to take the lead, but Dog is still burning. He holds out for 2 long bars and is set up for a level 29 Tetris to retake the lead, but Sodium gets it right back as he enters the kill screen, and it's a battle of kill screen play now. Dog has only a fraction of a Tetris to make up now and might be setting up for a level Tetris, but opts for the double and just misses a long bar to the left. And Sodium takes Game 1 with an incredible 1.175 million, giving Dog the honors of a new world record for highest losing score ever, a mere 1,000 points above the previous record that Dog had given to Corion. How the tables turn. Dog continued to play well, but Sodium had his day, incredibly sweeping the world champion to advance to the semifinals semifinals. But less than an hour later, in the bracket that would decide his opponent, a game between Jerpadude and Eric broke both of the world records that had been set that day. In an insane game that went down to the wire, Jerpadude scored an incredible 1.2 million, while Eric fell less than a Tetris short at 1.173 million, giving Eric the new world record of highest losing score, and both of them the highest combined score ever in competition with 2,383,540. To put that into perspective, less than 4 years ago, the 2014 world champion Harry Hong got the world's first ever 1.2 million score. It took him 4.5 months playing several hours a day to get it. And now two people nearly got it in a head-to-head matchup where everything is on the line in a single game and you're not supposed to be too risky. So it was only fitting that we get to see Sodium Overdose face off against Jerpadude. Jerpadude currently has a 2-games-to-none lead over Sodium. Both players are around the Tetris away from a max out in level 27, and the scores are virtually tied, but Jerpadude has the pace lead. Jerpadude knocks down a Tetris to take the overall lead, and Sodium gets another Tetris to take back the lead, but Jerpadude fires right back. Sodium is opting to clean out the holes now in the bottom of his stack, probably not wanting to enter the kill screen with a dirty board, and Jerpadude's board is still perfect, building up and gets another Tetris, now 2 Tetrises ahead in pace. Sodium is going to need to get one back here, but only has 1 Tetris left before the kill screen and is going to need to play beyond to have a chance. Jerpadude is approaching the kill screen as well, just trying to keep this lead secure. Sodium just waiting out for one more Tetris, and he's gonna get it. Now it's all up to how long he can survive. Takes some nice burns and is clearing it down. Jerpadude just manages to get a final Tetris and is set up for a kill screen Tetris, but can't get it. Sodium has his work cut out for him, but is still alive and crosses into level 30. Still managing to get pieces over, just taking it safe, burning down with singles, but misses a T-piece to the left and isn't going to be able to recover. Jerpadude completes the sweep, but this was not an easy sweep. Again, for context, back in April last year, I did my first CTM recap, where the headline was the old highest losing score in competition record. Sodium's score here easily clears that by a lot, but it isn't even the new record because that record was already broken twice in this tournament alone. The players nowadays are nuts. Jerpadude moves on to the finals to face what could be considered a final boss, Joseph Saley. Game 1 was incredibly close, but it didn't always seem that way, as Jerpadude had a massive pace lead until the end when he shockingly topped out at level 27, with Joseph just barely able to hang on to the victory with a scraped together max out. Towards the end of Game 2, Joseph already has a max out and a decent lead both in score and in pace, but just had a rough misdrop of an L piece while Jerpadude's board is clean. Joseph is going to have to skim and pulls off some edge of death burns at the top to stay alive, but Jerpadude is going to bite into the lead with a Tetris. Joseph finally has his well open again and gets a Tetris, but his pace is now almost identical. Joseph has the cleaner stack now though, as Jerpadude isn't quite sure what to do with a sequence of pieces. But Joseph isn't burning, trying to preserve the chance to get 2 Tetrises before the kill screen has to take a triple. Jerpadude gets a Tetris to take a 160 point lead, and Joseph tops out! Jerpadude has won by 1,000 points, but he doesn't know it yet and is still trying to set up a final Tetris before the kill screen. Building down the center, but is not getting the pieces to fill things out and gets droughted and ends up blocking the well and is going to top out with the slimmest of margins victory. Despite the brutal loss, Joseph stormed back in the next 2 games, winning a decisive Game 4 with a max out that Jerpadude was unable to chase down on the kill screen, giving Joseph his first CTM title since all the way back in June of 2020. But wait, as his victory screen popped up, it appears that Sodium actually won. No, not really. As always, I reached out to talk to both of the finalists. You were able to bounce back from some tough losses to take some matches, such as your Game 1 versus to Asian. It was a close, tough loss, and then the next game you were able to bounce back, win by over 350,000 points with nearly 1.2 million. Is there anything specific that you found that's helpful in getting the right mindset to be able to play your best no matter what happened in the previous game?
I don't think there's anything specific, but I just try to clear my mind after each game and just kind of like reset and just take it from like square one again and just let my mind be free, I guess. My mind is blank during these matches, yeah.
So in the past, it used to be that a max out would probably be a victory in pretty much any match, but it's no longer the case. So if everything's going right in a game, at what level or line count would you ideally be wanting to get a max out by?
I guess, okay, nowadays I feel like I'm going for 1.1, so I think you need a max at around level 27. Maybe late 26, but yeah, around level 27 would be ideal if you want a 1.1.
Well, congratulations on yet another title. This one was probably one of the hardest you've ever had to earn, and yeah, every single one counts now. So yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me again. Obviously, as the months go by, the level of the competition is getting higher and higher, so I'm having to work a little bit harder each month.
So, Jerpedude, this was your first ever trip to the CTM finals. How did it feel playing in the finals compared to previous rounds?
Yeah, it was my first time even making it past round 1, so that in itself was an accomplishment, and then I kept going and eventually made it to the finals. It was also my first time playing against Joseph, which was really tough. He's a really good player, and every mistake I made felt like it made it way harder for me to win each game.
What was it like during your 1.2 million record-setting game versus Eric ICX? Did you know how close the score was at the end and what kind of pace you were shooting for?
Yeah, so like just an hour before, I saw Dog and Corion get a world record, and then Sodium and Dog got another one. So I thought I had no shot against them, even if I won this. But getting that just sort of turned that around. During level 25, I heard that Eric already maxed out. So I thought I had to get at least a 1.2 in order to win. And once I topped out, I realized that Eric didn't get it, and I won.
So I've heard from some people that you have more total max outs than the number of days that you have played Tetris. Is that correct?
Yeah, I started playing Tetris around December of 2019 and just been playing ever since. And right now I have around 430 max outs. That's just usually what I go for when I practice.
So how many months did it take you to get your first max out?
I maxed out in May, so that's 5 months, I think.
Wow, so you've been playing for 14 months-ish. So you've gotten those 430 max outs in 9 months. That's insane. Well, you put on a fantastic show in the CTWC. You put on an even better show in the CTM. You're a super exciting player, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of you in the future tournaments. And thanks for coming on for the interview.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to playing other matches and tournaments.
It's fun to follow a scene that is always evolving, with some players managing to stay at the top, but new players always seeming to find a way to burst through and provide a challenge. I remember talking with Jerpedude when he would hang out on my stream in the early days.
Oh, thank you for the 1 bit, Jerpedude.
And it's been really cool to see him rapidly turn into one of the best players in the world. And one last note, due to the January and February CTM happening really close together because the January one happened later than normal, by the time I'm getting this up, the February CTM has already happened, and that one had some surprises too, so I'll see you in the recap for that one. See you guys next time.